Hey everyone, how's it going today? I want to thank you for joining me, Stephen Eit, for my quick mobile industry analysis. Let's dive in, let's make this quick. So my first question in conducting this analysis was, where are consumers? Where are people spending their digital time today? And it was kind of a no-brainer at the time, just because this is where I was spending most of my time, that people spend most of their time on mobile devices, their smartphones and their tablets. This is followed by home TVs and laptops or computers. But most of our time is on the mobile phone and mobile tablet. My next question was, how should businesses be mobile? What is the best way to reach consumers on these mobile devices? And most of consumers' time is spent on mobile apps, not in the mobile browser. However, you should have at least a mobile site regardless, even though it's not where we spend our time. You need to have at least some strategy, as this is where we are spending most of it. But that time is really spent in apps. So my next question was, okay, what are the different app options that people can pursue, that businesses can pursue? And what I found was that there's two main options. The first one was owning your own space, owning your own app, or renting space within an app. The benefit of owning your own app was that it was optimized for your business, and you could give your consumers whatever capabilities they may want. However, you would lose the benefit from that rented space, which is a network of customers. But if you rent space, you lose the benefit of being optimized for your business. If you rent space, you need to have app or service X, service Y, and service Z in order to give your customers all the capabilities that you may want to feature. And this is actually a mess we will jump into later. But out of these two options, it is abundantly clear which one is the most realistic that people and businesses do pursue. And that is the rental space. So on our left-hand side, we have Macy's, Nordstrom's, and Target's in the light red, which are individually owned apps. And in the dark red, we have Amazon, Etsy, and eBay. Now these are all retail services, and we see which ones get the majority of downloads. With our individually owned apps having fewer than 10 million and our rental space apps have greater than 10 million at the very least. So we found a factor of 10 just from the numbers that we and the apps that we posted. We did leave out a couple of the heavy hitters to try to make this a little fair, but overwhelmingly the rental space apps do get a lot more downloads than just the individually owned apps. Now we took out the big dogs in this part 2, and we still found a factor of 3 times the number of downloads in each of these industries. So this brings us to a couple more of problems that I have found in my research. And what this really brings us to, it was a cornucopia of problems, which I assimilated into the app gap to make sense of it. And the app gap is just saying that there is just an overabundance of applications. There's just too many applications out there that people are not going to use. And we will go through our statistics on that. So first off, 50% of people are downloading 0 new applications per month. And 25% of people download fewer than or equal to 2 applications per month. Combine that together, 75% of people download fewer than or equal to 2 applications per month. The majority of app downloads come from just 5% of the population downloading 8 or more applications per month. So most people today are not downloading applications. Follow this with people are using fewer and fewer applications per month. In 2012 and 2013, we were using 27 applications, and this was at the zenith. Today we're using about 21. Now this may not seem like a big jump, and it is only a decrease of 5 applications per month, but it's pretty significant given our next statistic, how most of our time is really spent within our top 5 applications. And the rest of time we spend in apps is just given a handful to the rest of the 20 apps that we use, or 15 apps that we use today. So 5 apps that we use today get 85% of our time, and the other 15 or 16 get 16% of our time. This is a quite interesting curve that follows the Pareto distribution, right? It's just a common element that seems to pop up everywhere, the Pareto distribution. So this brings us back to what we were talking about earlier. There's just too many apps. This is the app gap. There's just an overabundance in apps. You need an app to do X, you need an app to do Y, an app to do Z. And this is right here, we're going through an example of just a restaurant, right? A restaurant may want to offer their customers reservations, line waiting, delivery, and coupons. And you'd have to be on 4 different platforms in order to reach your consumers. However, your consumers aren't quite sure which platforms you're always on because there's competition in every single space. So it's not terribly hard to reach each other, given if you're just on one application but your customers are on another. Now, you could be on Grubhub and all their competition, but then you just have to have all these different apps up and running on different devices just to see what's coming in. It is just an overabundance that people are not really accepting. People do not spend their time on these apps anyways. There's just one functionality per app. People want fewer apps. They want to spend most of their time in just a handful of them. We don't want this many. So our key findings and recommendation. So our key findings were that you need to be mobile. You need to rent space. Do not own your own app. That is a terrible idea. This is not where people are spending their time. People are spending their time in the rented space apps. And there's something missing, a space that is optimized for both businesses and consumers. We think that is what's missing. And what we propose is building a digital business center, a space where businesses come in and give their customers the capabilities that they want, and consumers can easily access the businesses that they want to engage with the ways that they want to engage with them. They don't need an app to do X, an app to do Y, an app to do Z. We need an app that does X, Y, and Z. Anyways, that is our proposal. That is my industry analysis over the mobile industry. Sorry for being a little wordy here and there, but that is it. I want to thank you for your time and have a good rest of your day. Cheers.